Welcome to Pride Month, everyone. It is officially Pride Month. And so with that being said, this video, I would like to step out of my comfort zone and read 3 Pride books with you. Now I say step out of my comfort zone purely because the kind of like LGBTQA+ queer, sapphic kind of genre type is not something I usually reach for literally no particular reason. And so I decided that, considering I have literally read one queer book before, and that was Red, White and Royal Blue by Cosy McQuiston. Oh, and All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown, forgot about that. I thought that it was about time that I expand my horizons and honour Pride Month by reading the books that I found on Kindle store. So we have 3 contenders for this video, and I want to get through absolutely all of them. We have Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Sher, we have One Last Stop by Cosy McQuiston, and we have The Prince and the Player by Nora. Now, you may have heard of these before. The only one I'd previously heard of before, due to it being by Cosy McQuiston, was One Last Stop. We've got 2 male-male romances and 1 sapphic romance. I'm very excited because the descriptions of all 3 of these books sound absolutely incredible. If this is the sort of thing you want to see from my channel, or having watched this video you decide that you have some fantastic sapphic, queer, you name it, recommendations for me, subscribe, like and comment those recommendations down below, please. Right, let's get to it. Now, I have already read the books, so I know at this moment in time which book I read first, but I'm not going to give it away. Let's get into the video. Let's see what I read first.
Okay, so I'm sat in a travel lodge on a business trip. We're going to call it a business trip because I am working away this weekend doing my DV stuff. I thought I'd just tell you about the book I'm starting, because obviously we're doing my reads for Pride Month. I have read 1 queer book before, and that was Red, White and Royal Blue, and I adored it. And so I decided that with June being Pride Month, I'm going to read them. So I have 3 books lined up, and the first one I have decided to read is Fake Dates and Mooncakes by, hang on,
Hi everyone, so it's been a couple days since we last spoke and I started Fake Dates and Mooncakes. Now I wanted to update you about 50% through, but I am currently Dougie. I have 2 of the neediest foster dogs in the world. Okay, so it turns out I'm 68% of the way through and I'm on page 183 of 260. So we have less than 100 pages left to go. And according to my Kindle, an hour and 33 minutes of reading. And I'm going to try and finish that today so we can get on to our next Pride book. But, my goodness, it's very stereotypical romance. Spontaneous meet cute, starting to get to know each other. This is fake dating, obviously, so they have to go to a wedding as fake dates. And then something happens, the conflict, like, we're only 68% of the way through and the conflict's already happened. Now, I don't know if this is, like, the conflict or whether this is the start of the conflict. I'm not sure. Either way, we've started conflicting and we've already made up. So it leads me to believe that there is a further conflict about to go down. And obviously they're going to solve it and everything's going to be fine and dandy. Like, they're all the same. But I bloody love it. The side story about the mooncake competition in this, and the kind of family remembrance and the like messages behind the Chinese Singaporean culture in this is really lovely, and I am actually thoroughly enjoying this. So we started this book on Friday. I did read about 70 pages then, so that's not too bad. We then worked flat out Saturday, Sunday, and I read here and there, mainly in my tent at night on Saturday. Conked out Sunday. Monday, Tuesday I went back to work, and Wednesday I laid like broccoli. I did. I laid like broccoli all day. And it was lovely, and I read a little bit but not a lot, and now today we're on page 183 and we're so nearly done, so I'm going to finish it. Can we just take a minute to RIP the stickers in the back of my Kindle, that because every time I pull out my pop socket it pulls the case off the back and so they fall. So if you have any ideas on how to non-permanently, temporarily stick stickers to the back of your Kindle without actually sticking them to the back of your Kindle, please let me know in the comments. It is currently 11:41. I have a meeting for work at 12:30 and it takes me 25 minutes to get there. So I've got to leave at least latest by 12. So I've got 20 minutes to sit and read. Washing's on, washing's out, dogs are sleepy. That's annoying. It's not their fault, they don't know that I'm doing this. But I think it's time that we sit and read some fake dates and mooncakes. What do you think? Okay, cool.
I thought I'd just add a quick clip here. It's literally 9:30 in the morning. I am 15 minutes away from finishing fake dates and mooncakes. Is this... No. And the sweetest thing has just happened. I can't tell you because it will ruin the book if you're going to read it. I did not expect a 250-page romance to just spring this on me. The first line of this page is literally tears spring to my eyes. I can't believe that. I can't believe that this little book has just... I don't cry at books. It doesn't happen often. But that was really sweet. That was actually... I think family is like a real trigger for me crying in books. It's happy, it's not even sad. It's not even sad. It's a happy thing. Kind of. I just needed to put this in here because I feel like nobody would believe me if I said that, like, one sentence at the end of a 250-page random romance I found on the Kindle store would have set me off, but it has. I am 15 minutes from finishing this book. I will speak to you once I've calmed down and actually finished the book.
Okay, so I've officially started One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I've only read one of her books, and that was Red, White and Royal Blue, and I loved it. Absolutely adored it. Now, I have read halfway through chapter 1. This is a 402-page book. There's about 17 chapters, and they're quite long chapters. I don't know how I feel about it already. We've met our main character, August, and she's in a bit of a funky situation with moving in with somebody. I just hope the book gets going soon, because I struggle with long chapters. Also finished Fake Dates and Mooncakes. You saw me cry. I did. I will talk more about it at the very end of this video and how I felt about it, but giddy, kicking, screaming, adored. I'm going to go to work, read some more of my book on my break, and I shall talk to you tomorrow. Okay, I thought maybe we could sit and have a quick catch up about One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston while I just do my skincare. I'll talk you through it. I'm using the Liz Earle Instant Boost Skin Tonic as my toner because I ran out. Next up, we've got the Ordinary Caffeine Solution under my eyes because I am tired. So, I am officially 20% through One Last Stop. I think I'm chapter 4.5, chapter 5. And I'm not going to lie, I had serious considerations about DNFing the book within the first chapter. Purely because it felt like we weren't going anywhere. Next up is the Hyaluronic Acid Daily Serum by Skin Saints. I had obviously read the blurb and was like, yeah, this sounds really good. And then the whole first chapter felt like such a bunch of irrelevant information. And then I remembered it's a 402-page romance. 402 pages. So then I kind of doubled down and was like, well, it was obviously going to take a while to get into the book, so it's fine. Next is the Bioma Moisturising Gel Cream. Love it. I had thought about that, and then last night on my break at work I sat reading and I thought, hey, this is going a bit quicker. Oh, we're finally getting to the story. Maybe this book's going quicker than I thought. 6.5 hours left. I was 13% through. not as quick as I thought at all. As it turns out, I sat and read last night, and I am 22% of the way through, 5.5 hours left. I'm on page 92. I haven't even got 100 pages through the book yet. This is the most annoying part, is that it's just not going. I'm gonna go downstairs and sit and read some now, put some brown noise on, wait till Ben gets back because he's on standby, and then we're gonna go to the local car boot for a bit, I think, just as something to do and like have a walk about. That is how we're getting on. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I'm feeling a little bit just like I'm not getting anywhere. Like, is it actually even worth the hassle? It is a good book so far. Like, I do think I'm enjoying it, but I think that if it doesn't start picking up, I'm gonna have to soft DNF it. Like, romance books for me personally are supposed to be like short, sharp, snappy, lovely, sweet. Do you know what I mean? Kicking, giggling, that kind of thing. And I understand this one's slightly different. I can't explain it. It just doesn't feel right. And it's weird because Casey McQuiston's other book I loved and not this one. So weird. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore the fact that I literally have to keep taking all these stickers out and rearranging them. Yeah. So, but I am doing a great job, so it's fine. Like I said, Ben's on standby today, so we're just chilling. I'm finally off work. Finally, I have a 5-day working week next week, which for most of you is like, that's normal. Yeah, it is for some, it's not for me. And I'm not contracted to do so, so that's really fun. Let's go read. I'm hungry. We're going to make a sandwich. Let's talk about One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, because I finished it last night in some miraculous feat of speed reading, which I will come to because there's a couple of things that I believe were factors in this. So, Casey McQuiston's One Last Stop is about August, who moves to New York after not being able to settle into a city. She gets on the subway and she meets a character called Jane. Long story short, and this isn't spoiling anything because it's in the blurb, Jane is actually stuck in a time loop from the 1970s. So Jane is stuck in a time loop from the 1970s, 1977 I believe to be exact. Long story short, the main point of the story is that August wants to save Jane, okay? It is a gorgeous story about two queer people from two different times where their love may have not been accepted in one but is in the other, dealing with the fact that Jane is stuck on the subway. There is side stories in this book, and that is what also made it quite enjoyable. There is a huge element also of magical realism, which is obviously the whole like time loop stuck thing. It's not just some like generic romance. It is involving magical realism. And do you know what? I was genuinely surprised. Obviously, I came on here and I said to you, oh my God, it's taking forever to read. I think I might soft DNF it, blah, 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 all that crap. And I didn't, and I finished it, and I'm really glad I did, because it was actually anywhere between a 3.5 and a 4 stars. It genuinely was really good, and it surprised me. I will definitely go deeper into my feelings about the book at the end of this video. But for now, we're moving on to our second book, The Prince and the Player by Nora Phoenix. This is the first book in the, what series is this? In the Prince Pact series. So if I like this enough, I'll read the second one. I'm hoping to get this one actually done today. I've started it this morning. I'm currently 17 pages through of 277. Who knows? I think I've been reading really well at the moment. Right. Lost a slipper, that's okay. So, next up is The Prince and the Player by Nora Phoenix. This is about our main character, Tori. Tori is a Norwegian prince, and he would like to go to an American school and play football just to stay off the grid, just to see what it would be like to be a normal teenager. And so does his friends. And they want to meet back up in 2 years and see how they got on and share their experiences outside of royalty, because all of his friends are royalty too. Then we have Farron, who is the team captain of the Hawks college football team. And I know I'm 17 pages in, but there's already like, I believe this is enemies to lovers. Let me have a look at the tropes because there was a lot of tropes on here. So obviously it's a male-male romance. All the spice, grumpy sunshine, opposites attract, bi awakening, college soccer. Those are the tropes that are in this book. It says I have 4 hours and 45 minutes left of the book. Let's see if we can do like 2.5 hours here, and then I'll do 2.5 hours of work. Let's see if we can finish this tonight. I kind of reckon I could. Dougie, can you go away, please? No, sweetie pie. We're gonna get on with the book. So far, I think I'm gonna really like this. This is definitely red, white, and royal blue-esque. Hence the royal and the not royal. It also literally says in it, for fans of Casey McQuiston. So I believe we're on the right track. I shall see you after my sandwich. Okay, so I've got my reading buddies. We've got Prince and the Player. I'm gonna set a timer for 20 minutes. I'm gonna read for 20 minutes. Oh, we're already ready. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Watch some booktube, because I always find that like watching other people read gets me really motivated. And then we're gonna get going. Very excited. All started. Let's go. No, because hang on a second. You're telling me the grumpy sunshine part of this book is actually a 20-something-year-old teenager who's jealous that another man can play football better than him. Sorry, soccer. You're telling me that that's why he's grumpy? Do people ever grow up in books? Am I just going mad? Because that to me screams like infantile. I already don't like the other male character in this book, and we're 8% in. I kind of hope this isn't a DNF because I was really expecting to like this. But like that has really, really irritated me. Like, oh my gosh, imagine going to school, working your whole life for a football career, going to university and playing football, and you're in your senior year, and then a junior comes along or a freshman comes along and plays better than you. I'm actually baffled because my first thought would be like, gosh, he's put in a lot of practice. Not, oh my god, he's only a freshman and he's better than me. Do you know what I mean? Am I going mad? Or is that not like the most adolescent, childish thing you've ever heard in your entire life? It's actually made me mad. I'm actually a little bit fired up. Now, I don't know why I'm polishing my sunglasses because I'm not going to put them on my face. That's actually really, really irritated me. And if that's what Nora Phoenix thinks qualifies as grumpy sunshine, that's called grumpy child. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna read as much of this as possible. I'm gonna hope and I'm gonna work towards not DNFing this. But if that is how this book is gonna go, and our male main character is going to have to spend the majority of his time being nice to the other male main character because he's bloody jealous, then I don't know if this is a romance I want to read. Like, grow up. Grow up. It's 282 pages. I will try and read the first 100 and we'll see how it goes. I've got two very, very sleepy very sleepy puppies. I'll see you in a bit.
Well, hello everybody. We have come to the end of our Pride Month Read With Me. Now I'm going to preface this by saying I have not finished The Prince and the Player by Nora Phoenix. We will go into that in a moment. Let's start with Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Sher. What a book. I went into that already giddy because of the premise of the book, and I came out of it just as excited. You saw the clip of me crying. That was very real. It definitely moved me. It wasn't a very spicy book, which was nice. I believe there was no spice at all, actually, which I personally prefer. I just think it was a genuinely romantic beginnings of a love story. And I really love the fact that they did the whole, like, from different types of worlds trope. Fake dating, also great. That's also really good in a book. I do love a fake dating trope. I rated this, I believe, 4 stars. Yeah, I rated this a 4 stars on Goodreads. Now, our two male main characters had great communication, great understanding of each other, and I always love it when they tie in some sort of like cultural appreciation into a book like this. The way that it was written made me just absolutely able to fly through it. It really was very sweet. There's nothing to like specifically write home about the book. It was a great ending. So the side plots were just as interesting, and it gave me the need to finish the book just as much as the actual plot, which is what I love in a book, because it always gives a book depth. Don't get me wrong, I love a main plot, but side plots, just like side quests, give my brain something to think about as we're going through the book, which I adore. That was Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Sher. Second book we read in this video was One Last Stop by Cosy McQuiston. This is the second of her books I have ever read. And yes, I did rant at the beginning about how I was sure I was probably going to DNF it, but I was going to try not to. Purely because the whole first chapter felt so unrelated to the story. Like, there was just a heck of a lot of context in one go. And I personally thought it was a bit of a world building dump. We got a lot of what we needed about the main character August throughout the book, so I didn't need a lot of it in the first chapter. But in the end, this genuinely was a book about a really gorgeous love story, and the magical realism added just that extra pop to the book. The other side story about saving Pancake Billy's house, or Billy's Pancake House, or Pancake Billy's House of Pancakes, goodness knows what it's called, was really cool. Loved it, absolutely loved it. It again gave me something else to think about, because there was the main plot, then we had like two side plots. Yeah, two side plots. And the whole thing came full circle at the end, which is great because I didn't get to the end of the book asking questions. For a 400-page romance, which I usually hate long romances, this was so worth the read. I believe I rated this one 4 stars as well. I usually hate 400 plus page romances, even 350 pages plus sometimes, because sometimes I believe it's just not necessary. But this was 150,000% worth the read, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I read it in like 3 days, which is great, because I usually don't have that much of an attention span. So that was One Last Stop by Cosy McQuiston. Thirdly, we have The Prince and the Player by Nora Phoenix. I am currently 51% through this book. Now, you saw me rant about one of the male main characters. Although my perspective on that did change throughout the first half of the book as we got past that initial issue, because I did realise that that's literally the whole point of a good author, is to make you feel things. And she did. I was angry, I was irritated, I was annoyed, and then it was cute. And now we're 50% of the way through, and I think the one thing I struggle with this book is that it's very insta-love, insta-attraction, insta-spice. And again, I've said it before, too much spice in books and I lose interest. I want to know the plot, I want to know the romance, I want to know the love story, I want to know the itty-bitty details. Not those itty-bitty details. And so I am now at the point in the book where I kind of just want to put it down, walk away, or skip a chapter and carry on. I didn't think it was worth finishing this book for the video, personally. Within 20% of the book, we'd gone from absolutely hating each other to this like instant connection and oh my goodness. Two male main characters who believed up until this point in their lives that they were completely straight, never had any sort of consideration for any other sexual preference. And now they're straight into it. There's none of that like cute awkwardness that you get in a relationship when you start it, or when you start liking someone, you start having a crush on someone. There's none of that. It's just like straight into it. And I just don't like insta-love. I think it just is incredibly unrealistic, and for me, negates a lot of the other parts of the story, because there is that disconnect from romance, because it's not romantic. Personally, I don't find that romantic. I was going to say it screams desperation, but I feel like that's a bit rude to the characters of the book. Another thing as well I found with Nora Phoenix's writing is she writes in the past present tense. So one of the lines I remember reading was like, he had loads of scouts looking at him at the moment. Soccer scouts. Surely it's he has so many scouts looking at him. I could be completely wrong, and I could be the last person to be talking about grammar, but there were so many things like that where I'd read it and I'd be like, wait, now or then? So that's another thing. My plan is I'm just going to pick this book up whenever I fancy. If I DNF it, I DNF it. If I finish it, I finish it. I actually don't care for the book anymore. Oh yeah. So it's called The Prince and the Player, and the whole point is just like in Fake Dates and Mooncakes, where we had a family who came from everything and a family who came from nothing. In The Prince and the Player, we have a Norwegian prince, Tore, and we have Farron, who is from a widowed mum working 2 jobs with 3 younger siblings, and he goes to college on a scholarship and has a job to support those 3 younger siblings. So again, it's that disconnect between the life and the upbringings and things like that. Only once has it been mentioned that Tore can't disclose his family history because of a security risk. It's played on very big at the beginning, and then it's just dropped. Like, this very much could have been another, like, Fake Dates and Mooncakes, just a different type of upbringing, you know, someone with money and someone without. I feel like they've put emphasis on the prince. I'm a little bit disappointed because in Red, White and Royal Blue, that's the part that I really did enjoy. It felt more like a forbidden love because of the fact that he was a prince. Whereas in this one, there's so much more emphasis on the fact that they didn't know that they were sexually attracted to men, more than, oh my goodness, like, I'm a prince. That kind of thing, which is how it felt like the story was gonna go, and then it went a whole different way. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I have a feeling this will be a 2-star. I'm 51% of the way through. I don't know if I'll finish it. I'm gonna sit down and read a bit of it now. I'm currently in the middle of a spice scene, so I would personally think that I would skip this next chapter, but we'll see how it goes. So that is the end of today's video. I have read 3 Pride books this month. We'll say that. I've nearly read 3. I've read 2. I definitely enjoy going out of my comfort zone with genres, to be honest with you. I don't know why, it's just something I've never picked up, but it's definitely something that I will be more open to reading in the future for sure. I mean, Cosy McQuiston started to really like her as an author. And I'm really hoping Shirley has some other books out, because Fake Dates and Mooncakes, I believe, was my favourite of these 3 this week. Just wanted to say thank you so much for liking, subscribing, supporting, commenting, having conversations with me in the comments. I love it. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much. Tune in for next week's video, where we're going to be doing a bit of a mid-year book tag. We can catch up on the year, talk about the books I read, the books I want to read, anything like that. If you've got any kind of prompts, questions, or something you think I should add into my mid-year book tag, please comment them down below, and I shall see you next week.
Do excuse the noise, my neighbours are having their shed.
Motion detected at the front door.
Also, can we just take a minute to RIP the stickers? If I'm brutally honest, well, no wonder resident of your foot, you walked into me. That's my finger, you... Oh!
Okay, yeah, I'll see you in a bit.